Thank you, Mrs. Moskurt. Mrs. Szájer.
Thank you very much, Chairwoman. Dear colleagues, my definition of a fascist or communist method is nothing else than when you pass a judgment on dinner table gossip without investigation. And I'm happy, in fact, hearing the Commission's statement here. And I would like to refute labelling Hungary on the processes in Hungary as fascist on behalf of Mrs. Gomez. It's unacceptable. Never pass a judgment, a sentence before. We, in the communist era, we have seen that very often. So what I ask from this committee and from the Parliament, before passing judgment, make a thorough investigation. And what I heard from the representative of the Commission is really something which makes it clear and I think gives a correct assessment. In Hungary in the last year, I don't know whether you know, there was a new constitution. Some criticized even here that it was passed in 9 months. I would like to remind you that the European new treaty, which we are discussing, is going to be passed in 4 or 5 or 6 weeks, which is also a very important document. But also, there has been passed by the Hungarian Parliament by a record number of 230 laws. 230, among them 30 cardinal laws. The country, after the rule of the Socialist Party in Hungary, was in collapse. There was no public security. The budget deficit from 1953 to 2002, when Orban left the government, was increased to 80%. There is basically a disaster. The public services were in ruins. In the streets, you have made it clearly several times, there were paramilitary forces because the police, the government couldn't provide security for the citizens. So what we inherited, what Fidesz inherited, I'm a Fidesz politician, just by the way, who doesn't know me, what we inherited is something that a big restructuring, the two-thirds majority was not won on lottery. It was won on the will of the people, of a big change. And what we did by 30 cardinal laws and 230 new laws is basically a restructuring, a new creation of a new state which is functionable. Let's see behind that this is the motivation. If there has been only these 4 mistakes or 5 mistakes which we have seen, I'm very happy. Because such a work in such a short period of time cannot be done otherwise. If only 4 or 5 or 6 points where we are colliding with European law, then I think we the Hungarian Parliament made a very good job. In that sense, I would like to ask you to take and investigate this issue. And I fully agree with those who are saying that this Parliament has its own right to go on and do the things. But imagine this huge amount of law, which 90% is not even translated to any other languages. And even translation makes it clear that you don't understand the legal system which is behind it, the different connections between the parts of that. You have to understand that this is a huge responsibility on behalf of the Parliament to pass a judgment, and the Commission can provide this help for the Parliament on the specific points. Thank you very much. I would like to ask your understanding, and also some colleagues have criticised Hungary for not abiding with the European rules. Mr. Michel, if you cannot abide even with the rules of this procedure, what moral right do you have for that? Thank you very much.